Do 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 do.
You're making me Miss Jeopardy. Fuck you.
Do they have a copyright
That was the
on
whole
that?
point. Yes.
He
yes,
did
they
it
do,
a
but
little different.
I was doing my own rendition. I don't fucking know what the word is.
You
Rendition.
did that smooth jazz cover.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do.
Welcome everybody to episode 97 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. Today we're talking about the US geography and how it's primarily going to be me arguing with everyone else about which states I think belong in certain regions, like the Midwest, the South, the Northeast. Which states are considered part of that?
Yeah, Secretary's not here, so we got a lot of ground to make up.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna hate me in about 5 seconds.
Because I know
So-
exactly where you're going with this.
We're gonna start out with what state are you from, and what region do you think it belongs to?
What? Okay.
Stealth, we're starting with you.
Texas Southern region, fuck you.
Texas, I don't consider part of the South. I consider it part of the West.
Do not associate us with that side of
Because Texas, so no, I'm not, I don't consider the West. Listen, I don't consider the West as being the West Coast, personally. The West Coast is its own thing. We have the West, which is between the South, the Midwest, and the West Coast. Everything between there, I consider as being the West. I'm sure there's a name for it. It might be like the Great Plains or something. But I would say Texas is more similar to Montana and Wyoming
I took
than
your
it
spot.
is to any state in the Southeast.
You could have said Tennessee and I would have agreed with you, but no.
So what? Okay, where are we at this point?
We just started. And Turtle's already shitting on my state.
Well, I the first thing
So-
I see is Ohio, and I'm sorry, as neighbor to Ohio, Ohio is a different place entirely.
So, Vampy, we are going to we're going over the states we're from and where we believe those states fall, and then if anyone doesn't believe that that state belongs in that region, we're challenging it.
Okay.
I'm trying not to
Basically.
fall asleep because
So-
I'm fucking tired.
So Stealth
Yeah.
said Texas is part of the South. I
It
don't
is.
believe Texas is part of the South. It has almost nothing similar in it to any of the southern states in the Southeast, like Georgia, Alabama, even Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky. It has nothing anywhere near like those. It is more similar to Wyoming or Montana.
Or the
I will
outlier is
say
not a
this.
good thing.
I believe it is part of the South just because, holy shit, if you go there, you are as far south as you can get in America.
Thank you.
Okay,
Van.
but
Not true.
But if we're gonna say that, then the South should also then include California because it borders Mexico, which no one would ever say that California or Nevada or New Mexico
Okay,
is part of the
if you don't want
South.
to call it South, can you at least call it Central? Because it is basically dead slab center from east to west.
And that's basically what I'm considering the
I
West
can
because we have
argue
we have the North, we have the South, and that's Northeast and Southeast specifically. We have the West Coast, we have the Midwest, and we have what I call the West, which you're calling Central.
Yeah.
So, I
No,
would consider
South Central.
Texas. Then you're splitting. Okay, so yeah, we can split it up into 5. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3. That's 6. So we can split it up into 6 sections. I'm okay with that. So we have the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, the North Central, and the South Central, and the West Coast.
I understand now why you said everybody's going to argue with you this episode.
So where are you from, and where do you believe your state belongs?
Minnesota, right where it's at.
The Midwest. Minnesota is definitely
Very
Midwest.
Let's be real.
Upper
Right
Midwest.
where it's at. You cannot fucking argue that.
I love that. That was a good answer, Stubby.
Oh, that was the perfect answer.
Oh my gosh. Right where it's at.
So no one would
That's awesome.
argue
Swinging.
that Minnesota is the Midwest.
No, I do
That's
not
not the
think
Midwest.
anyone's gonna argue that.
Yeah. Nobody would argue that
Yeah.
it's not the Midwest.
Same difference. Wisconsin again, it's definitely the Midwest. It is the most Midwestern state you could ever think of.
I guess.
I actually watched a video a couple days ago of a guy. He asked all of his viewers on YouTube. He asked them all what state they believe is more Midwestern by challenge. Like it would pop up 2 states, and you'd vote which one is more Midwest than the other. And Wisconsin won with a
I mean,
long
cheese and dairy.
distance. Now, another part of his video, though, he went over like a bunch of different aspects, like the difference in population, like the types of people in the region, that type of thing. Went over soybean, corn, stuff like that. He ended up saying that Minnesota is more Midwestern than Wisconsin. And I was just like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Wisconsin has more farmland, more small farms, more small communities than Minnesota does.
Wisconsin is a farm.
I think
A cheese
Minnesota
farm.
has a lot more reservations than
Oh
Wisconsin.
god. So Wisconsin holds all the cheese bunkers in America?
Yeah. So, Bambi,
No,
Let's
we like
move
to
on.
bathe in cheese.
All you
Bambi?
have to say is cheese, and I'm immediately craving those fucking cheese curds you brought to TwitchCon.
Oh my god,
my
cheese
God.
curds are so
Those sound
good.
so
Bambi?
good.
okay, Bambi,
Oh.
where are you from, and where do you think your state belongs?
I'm sorry to say, but I am the eastern state of Pennsylvania because fucking Christ, we are east. Basically as east as you can get.
But we've already
East
decided that it's on the east, we have the north and the south. So are you north or are you a south state? Are you a southern state?
North for sure. North for sure.
Okay.
We're just right at that line where it turns from north to south, I think.
I don't think you're at that line. Let me pull up a map. I'll tell you where that line lies.
We're
I'm
right
surprised he
above
didn't have a map
Virginia.
ready.
And I'm considering Virginia part of the South.
Yeah,
think
I would
Virginia-
too.
Virginia is
Yeah.
the southern state.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
Virginia
am-
is south.
and West Virginia. So
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are definitely south. So yeah, you know, you would be right. I would consider Pennsylvania and north of Pennsylvania as the north. Okay, so yeah, are we all in agreement with that on Pennsylvania then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we should
Okay.
be. I don't see why not.
Hmm.
Okay,
My state was real easy.
so Mom,
Yeah. Which
we have
state?
a few states to go over for you.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we already went over Wisconsin, so that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Midwest. All right.
So-
South Carolina. Well, it's in the
South
name.
Carolina.
South
Yep. Yeah,
South
we've already
Carolina.
agreed that South Carolina would be
It's a
part of the
southern
South.
state. And then Georgia, obviously.
Yeah, that's also a southern
Southern
state. Yeah.
so I'm good.
So really, the only one that we have to argue about is
It's
Texas.
Texas.
Because
I'm not
Texas,
arguing. I agree with Stealth. It's a southern state.
Texas is not
Yeah, I-
south. To
I
me,
say
say South
that it is
Central.
South.
I am
To me,
willing,
the-
Central.
because of Ampy,
South
to accept
Central.
arguments for it being central.
I said Central. South Central.
Both of you.
Yeah.
It's south and it's central. That's
Yeah.
the way I see it.
so now, Vampi,
It's a South
what
Central
or
state.
Stealth, what is your reason for believing Texas is part of the South? not
seen where it's positioned in the country.
okay.
That was my argument for it.
Don't consider just the physical location, because as you're going to see in a few minutes here, the physical location does not dictate. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just skip ahead here for a second. We're gonna.
All right, fuck.
What defines? Let's do this first. What defines the region? The notes I have is geographical, cultural, or is it something else?
It's always the
Well,
pickles.
both, I'd say.
I think it's both geography and culture. Both have to match or be similar with the rest of the states in that region for them to both be considered in that region.
And please explain how
agree.
Texas, of all states, does not match that stereotype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Texas-
That's-
Texas does not fit in with the South. And when you think of the South, you're going to think Alabama, the Carolinas, Virginia, West
Mississippi,
Virginia,
Georgia, Florida.
even Mississippi. I don't usually
Kentucky.
think of as a southern state, but it is, because
Is it
it's
because
smack
of,
dab
like, the
between
real
Alabama and
functional
Louisiana.
Industry.
Huh?
No, so I've traveled all throughout almost every state except a couple in the Northeast.
Yeah, I know you visited.
So-
at one point.
So I've been in all of these states, and I've spent time in all of these states. And the West Coast is very distinctive, like California, Oregon, and Washington. I would actually consider Nevada as part of that as well. Those states are all very similar in culture, who's there, and what's going on there. And also very close in geography. They all have mountains running through them. So would we agree that those are all Western states, like the West Coast?
Which ones again? Sorry, my brain kind of.
California, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington.
Yeah, I could. I
West-
could
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Utah's
Oh,
kind of
okay,
the weird
here's
spot.
here's the thing I have an issue with. West Virginia. Why the fuck is it called West Virginia when it's in the east?
Because it's in the west part of Virginia.
It's
West-
actually
no, it's
not in the
north
east.
Of Virginia.
Yeah, it is.
doesn't got
north of
lost on
the
Virginia,
way.
isn't it?
Okay, the geographical, like, if you go by the shape and you find the center of that shape, the center of West Virginia is so far west of the center of Virginia.
Yeah, but I'm just like you gotta understand.
Oh.
It's north,
Yeah.
Yes, it is north, but it is primarily west.
but it's on
Yeah,
the
it's
east
like
side
North
of the
Carolina,
country.
South Carolina. Why can't
Okay.
it be North
North.
Virginia and Virginia?
Yeah, North Virginia and
West
Virginia.
of Virginia, West Virginia.
North
Yeah.
of Virginia, North Virginia.
So do we need to call it Northwest Virginia because it's at north
Yes.
and west of Virginia? That is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Petition to make
why
that
not?
shit happen.
oh my god.
Northwest Virginia. I don't ever want to
Fix the
live there. That's a
confusion.
lot.
Let's just turn every state that's north, south, west, and I guess just Virginia, because it isn't called East Virginia. Just one state.
Yeah.
North and South Dakota is now one state.
Okay.
South
Oh,
Dakota
So,
finally settled
again-
their differences and made a really big Dakota.
So let's go over some more states. We're going to go from west to east. So we've already
Talking about.
agreed Washington, Oregon, California, and Nevada are all West Coast states, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Now, I believe personally that Montana, Wyoming, even North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas would be as I guess we're calling it, the central states, but they are
Yeah.
Western states. They are all very similar in everything that happens over there.
Okay, here's what I
They're-
would do.
They're all very flat.
they're the plains.
Here's what I would consider: Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico as Midwest.
we already have a Midwest, and that's
Yeah.
centered around
Wisconsin
Wisconsin,
and
Minnesota.
That's kind
Missouri.
of dumb. I'm sorry.
Wisconsin.
If anything, you should be considered
know.
part of the Central with Texas.
Yeah, Central.
Well, if we're going to consider Wisconsin part of Central, then we would also have to, by geography alone, consider Alabama and Mississippi part of Central as well.
Mississippi, yes. Alabama, no. That could be considered.
South.
That could be
East,
considered the true South right
southeast.
there. That's the
Yeah,
start
no,
of
yeah.
South.
But no,
Oh
okay,
my
so
gosh.
Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah, and Idaho are all the West.
I don't consider Texas West. I'm sorry, but Texas and California are as far as parts can be. There's no
And
way.
Did I say California?
I'm putting
They
in
didn't put-
comparison
Did I
to the
say
actual rest of the
California?
country.
And
We
we're
didn't
okay.
flip tails.
You have to understand again that we're talking about the 6 different sections. We have the West Coast, we have the Northeast, we have the Southeast, we have the Midwest, we have North Central and South Central. I'm putting all of Central in together in one, and then we can figure out where we're going to draw that line.
Okay.
So again, that's Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, and Idaho.
All right.
And I think I said Montana and Wyoming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't, we'll say it again.
All
Okay.
right.
Montana
Montana,
and
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
So
There you
those
go.
are all.
Here's what I'll say about
That was perfect, Stealth.
dividing North and
Indeed.
South Central. Nebraska's right the middle. You just could. That's complete central.
Yeah.
Just
Everything that's north of it, like Wyoming,
But-
Idaho, and all the Dakotas, and
But the
Montana,
thing
that's
is-
north. Everything else is south.
The thing is, if we're going to do it by both geography and culture, then North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho would be considered the North Central. But then also Kansas and Oklahoma. Kansas is more similar to Nebraska and South Dakota than it is to Oklahoma and Texas.
This is why the country's kind of fucked.
And,
Yeah.
and some people even consider Kansas as being part of the Midwest. Kansas and Nebraska, they consider the Midwest, which I don't agree with at all.
Nah.
They are drastically different than what I
yeah,
consider the
they're
Midwest
more
as
like
being.
Okay, I just started paying attention to the chat. Apparently, someone's friend didn't know where fucking Alaska was.
That is
Jesus.
next to Canada. That is north. There's nothing
Okay.
You
but
cannot
north for
possibly
Alaska.
forget that. It's the most
Alaska-
out of this land state.
Alaska and Hawaii are just on their own. We're not even considering them because they're not part of the 48.
No.
Where you have these
here's how you
distinctions.
consider it. Alaska is north. Hawaii is south. End of story.
Here's how you
okay,
consider it.
they are not
Alaska
part of
is
any of the
Alaska.
48.
Hawaii.
They're not
is
part
Hawaii.
of-
Who's Puerto Rico?
Yeah. Puerto Rico
Oh, yeah.
is not considered
Oh,
because
goodness.
Puerto Rico is not a state.
To my cousins in Alaska,
Hmm.
sorry, you're not true Americans.
No,
No.
we're talking about the
Any fucking
geography.
day now, Canada's gonna annex you.
We're talking about the geography of the 48. We're ignoring Alaska and Hawaii right now because they are completely separate. They would be in their own categories, so they're not even worth mentioning.
But they could.
So, so now how do we separate out the West, the whole Montana to Texas and Idaho, Utah, Arizona, all that? How do we separate those? Because Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico and Texas are all actually quite similar, I would say. In the culture,
Wait.
in the
In
culture,
Oh no.
and
no.
geographically. Yes, they are.
No. Texas is so far separate from them because of the gun owners. There is no way in hell you'll
Not
consider
just the gun
California-
owners. We got oil
I know,
barons too.
but the but Texas
I would say
is in no way
separate the West.
California.
Anybody west of the Rocky Mountains is part of the West Coast.
Yeah, we can agree with that.
Okay.
Just have that
Then,
barrier between
in
us
that
and
case-
the normal people of the United States.
In that case, now
Normal?
we're going to consider Arizona, Utah, Idaho,
Did you say
Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and California
No.
as being West Coast states, which, yeah, I mean,
that's
there's some
fair.
argument to be made about Idaho in that more than anything.
No, Idaho.
For the
Idaho.
culture, but I would say I would agree that Utah and Arizona do fit in with the West Coast more than they
Yes.
do with New Mexico, Texas.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But New Mexico and Texas
So now-
are definitely different than Arizona and California. There's just no.
Yeah. So in that case, I would then consider Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado as being the South Central. They're all very similar.
Yeah, that's fair.
So many business
And then
in
you have
California.
the Northern Plains, which is Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska.
Mhm.
That's what I'm calling the Northern Plains now, because those states are all so flat and they are just
Yeah.
plains.
Yeah.
And they're very plain.
So now
Wait.
the argument is going to get more fun. So we've got everything from we've got everything from west of Minnesota straight south to Texas. West of that, all figured out.
That half the country is done. The other half.
Yeah, the other half. We're going to
Clusterfuck.
talk about the Midwest for a second. So, Wisconsin, Minnesota, obviously. The UP, so the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, obviously part of the Midwest. Iowa,
Missouri.
Illinois, Missouri, part of the Midwest. Now, I
Ohio.
do say, no. If we're
Ohio
going to
is
consider
huge.
Ohio, we first have to talk about Indiana.
Ugh.
But I don't think Indiana fits in with the Midwest one bit,
No.
Oh.
either geographically or culturally. It just doesn't.
Yeah, not culturally, definitely.
Geographically, it does. It's right there between Illinois
Yeah.
and Michigan.
Yeah, but again, I
Mhm.
said the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, yes, that is Midwest. But the whole of Michigan, I don't think it is. I think the whole of
Okay.
Michigan fits in more closely with the Northeast.
Stupid finger. Oh.
So,
Alright.
can we agree that we can split Michigan?
Yeah. Two
Yeah.
For this-
Technically,
because the UP of
Technically,
Michigan
you
is
are
so
correct.
drastically different than the rest of Michigan.
It's already
no,
been
let's
split.
put it like
Michigan
this.
is
Michigan, for some reason,
Midwest
is
state.
split by a fucking
Yeah.
lake. Why the fuck?
Yeah.
That should just be
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
why doesn't
and
Wisconsin
Michigan.
have that yet?
I know.
Yeah.
That should be part of Wisconsin. But I don't
Yeah,
want
no,
it
we're
to
talking
be
about
because I want to
geography.
drive
You
to
need to
it.
look it up.
We don't want the UP as part of Wisconsin. Trust me, the UP is so weird. I have
That's where the
drove.
Upers are.
I have drove into the most remote fucking little city up in the UP,
Ugh.
and as soon as you cross that border from Wisconsin into the UP, people are talking like they're fucking their cousins.
Like Alabama? Oh.
Worse.
Sorry if I offended anybody.
Wait.
Like the UP is its own beast, but I would consider it, because of how weird it is, part of the Midwest.
Hmm.
See,
Honestly, if you're gonna take
most
the Alabama,
most people consider Ohio and Indiana part of the Midwest too, but I don't think Indiana is borderline Midwest. Michigan is more closely related to the Northeast. Ohio is also
Voting,
definitely more
right.
close to the Northeast, both geographically and culturally.
No, yeah, I agree that Ohio is northern state. Not the northern state. Sorry, I was thinking something else. The eastern state.
The Northeast.
I mean, I can see it, I can see it.
Thank you. That's why North was in my.
So now, with
But
that, then we have
Indiana
to
is
figure out.
definitely still a Midwestern state. That's like the border.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll
That's
consider
all the
Indiana. I'm
Yeah,
okay with considering Indiana part of the Midwest.
Yeah, I
That
was about
makes
to say,
sense.
there- I can understand Ohio Northeast, but not Indiana. That has to be Midwest.
So now we have to. I think we figured out mostly what the South is, since we said everything south of Pennsylvania.
Which
Is the
West
South.
Virginia, Maryland, Delaware.
Although
Scholars.
New
100%
Jersey-
look at this episode and be like, "What the fuck?"
New
are they
Jersey is
talking about?
east. It's east.
New Jersey is a northern state.
Northeast.
hmm
Delaware, I would also consider a northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is that? I can't read this map.
Well, no, Delaware is south of Pennsylvania.
Sorry if I'm a little distracted, by the way. I got stuff going on
Next
behind the
to
scenes.
Maryland.
I do
Like
too.
Delaware hangs off
fine.
of Maryland.
Oh,
and that's
yeah,
south.
Delaware. No, I think Delaware
Yes.
is a
No,
northern
I'm
state.
looking
It
at
is
the map. I'm looking at
physically,
the
it
map.
might be south of Pennsylvania, but I think it is still a northeastern state by culture. It has nothing southern about it. I've
Then
been
we'll
there.
just consider it east, and that's it. Delaware is just east, nothing else.
We're not splitting into three
No.
groups on the East Coast. It's a northeastern state.
No, I'm not considering northern.
It
I
is
live
much.
next to it, and I don't consider it northern.
It is very similar to New York.
No.
Trust me. So what about New Jersey? Do you consider New Jersey a southern state too now magically?
Yes.
I consider
It's
it like
not.
Delaware east.
No, New
And
Jersey.
besides, New Jersey
New-
is above the line of the south of Pennsylvania. They're on the east side of it, but Delaware is south.
No, it's not. Oh wait, yeah,
I'm
it is.
looking
Okay.
at the fucking
Yeah,
map
fuck.
right now.
I'm blind. Yeah. Okay.
You can't
New
fucking
Jer-
lie to me.
I forgot popcorn.
New
I've
Jersey.
been to New Jersey.
Nothing
I've
gets
been to
past
the
those
beaches.
vampire eyes.
New Jersey. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York,
I should've
Vermont,
had a
New
drink.
Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey.
Yeah, I'll consider that the north.
Again.
Delaware is south. It's eastern central, if anything. I am not
What the fuck
considering it
is
part
that?
of the north.
It's Connecticut, probably, if you're trying to figure out what the small, tiny state is.
No, it's not
small
Connecticut
one
that I'm
right
looking
below
at.
Massachusetts, that'd be Rhode Island.
That would.
That might be the
definitely
one I'm
Rhode
trying to
Island.
look at here, and I'm just blind.
Need some
By the
glasses.
way,
No,
is that
Rhode
one
Rhode
from
Island
New
is
Jersey or something
no,
else?
Rhode Island is way up
New Jersey.
north, up close to New York.
About what?
So-
Rhode Island and New Jersey.
Maryland.
Okay.
The true
Maryland, yeah, Maryland. I would
Oh.
also consider a northeast. Maryland has nothing to do at all with the South.
No.
It is so drastically different.
You're kidding.
No.
One of the original 13 doesn't have anything to do with the South.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, that
Oh
is
my
south.
god.
Pennsylvania is the line of the north, and that is directly below us, along with Delaware.
Yes,
There is
Well,
no
physically-
Virginia's on the line of the North. but yeah.
physically, geographically, yes, you're right. But culturally, it has no connection to the South.
It's got no connection to the north.
It is much more similar to New York than it is to fucking Virginia.
Georgia.
No. It's closer to
South Carolina.
California.
Vampy,
California.
Vampy, have you been through the South?
I've
and have you been through
and
Maryland?
Virginia.
No. Total.
That's
I've
it.
been
Trucker card.
I've lived in Maryland for a little bit as a child, and I've been in Virginia as a child. There is no way it's north.
That took me a second.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
It is most definitely north.
No.
You can't just say that it's not north because you don't like it.
No, there's nothing alike in Pennsylvania to those two. There's nothing.
I would actually say no. You're wrong on that. Maryland
Hey,
is
Turtle.
very much more similar to Pennsylvania than it is to Virginia.
Not from what I saw as a kid. Hell no, it's closer to Virginia.
How old were you when you lived there?
I was early teens, like very young, like preteen, I think it was. So
Yeah, I
11,
drove
12
through
area.
there 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, what I saw as a kid is Virginia and Maryland are more like.
And were you in
both of those to Pennsylvania?
were you in rural Maryland or the
Nope.
eastern side of Maryland? Because the eastern side of Maryland is
I
much
was-
more similar.
I was not in rural on either of those.
It is much more similar to Pennsylvania.
I was not
I
in
will
rural in
not-
either of those, and there's no similarities. I will put my fucking cape on now just to make a point.
it- so okay, we're gonna take a vote here. Maryland, northern state or southern state?
Oh,
I'll get back to you on that.
yeah,
Sobe,
I don't.
Maryland,
I already
northern
looked
state or
at them.
southern state?
I already
No,
looked at
don't worry about how it is on the map. Okay, I would consider it
I
a
have
northern
no
state as
fucking
well.
idea then.
Well, no,
You
even
don't want me to look at the map.
you have to both consider the map and what you know about the state, since
I know
No,
nothing.
apparently
about
only me and
Maryland.
Vampy have been there.
I know jack shit about Maryland.
I've been to New York,
um,
that's about it.
Southern.
Maryland is one of the states that, unless they changed
It's
the
the
law
state that
recently,
holds the DC, District of Columbia.
also, it's one of the few states that, at least when I was there, you cannot pump your own gas.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
That's-
state.
Yeah, no, north we pump our own gas. That is south. Fuck off.
Actually, Jersey,
Oh.
Vampy, we pump our own gas here.
New Jersey
Yeah,
also.
Oh, gas too.
Yeah,
New Jersey also
you
used to
can't
have that
fucking-
rule. I don't know if they still do, but New Jersey
No,
also
they
has
don't.
that. So, no,
Yeah,
I think
saw
they
a video about
removed it.
recently.
Yeah,
Did they?
I thought they removed it
No.
recently.
I've been to New Jersey as a high schooler. There was no pump your own gas rule. So I consider Maryland south. There is no way it's connected to Pennsylvania. Especially with a law like
Yes.
that. Fuck
The
no.
state
What the
above
hell
New
does
York
that
is
even-
considered
The-
south.
Vampy. Vampy.
Shit.
Okay,
Kind of a
I
weird
hate to
place.
bring up politics in this, but
No.
the only states that have consistently kept that rule in place are states that have almost always voted Democrat.
And Pennsylvania's
New
big
York.
swing.
And New York is a Democrat primarily.
Yeah, PA's not. So, but I'm thinking geographically because you can say culturally, and you know
And-
what? California is also like the same as New
And,
York.
and,
Fuck
and hang
off
on,
with that.
hang on. Where did we decide to
I
put
forgot what we're
Delaware
arguing
again?
about.
Because
Delaware
Delaware,
was south.
no, Delaware is a northern
It's
state.
next- No, it is south. It is south. It's right
Delaware
next
is
to
much more
Maryland.
similar to New Jersey and New York.
Fuck
Again,
off
don't know
with
much about Delaware.
So, Mom, where are we putting Delaware and Maryland? Where do you think they fit in more?
Delaware, do you want to put it?
I think she
that.
crashed.
Motherfucker.
Stop it.
Yeah, I think she gone.
Because I
Our
100%.
crashed her.
100%
Yeah, how about that?
believe.
Circuitor's not even here. Vampy's picking up all the slack for us.
Yeah. I'm picking up all the arguments.
He's gonna be so fucking
Delaware
proud
and
when he gets
Maryland are
back.
south,
Also,
along with Virginia
Froggy,
and West
Froggy
Virginia.
crashed in the most pissed off look.
Yeah.
Her VR just rage quit.
I'm done talking about states.
I want to go drink now before I bleed out.
Oh yeah, she just messaged me. Has to restart the Oculus.
Oh my
All right.
god, she messaged Vampy before Turtle? Uh-oh.
Damn.
Well, I sent her a link about the incest states of America, and in actuality, they are northern states.
Jesus.
The what states?
Don't
New
New
repeat
Jersey
it.
and Rhode Island. actually
Sorry,
have
you said that
legal-
as I said it. My bad.
All you have to say was Rhode Island. I think I understand now.
Okay.
I don't know.
But anyways,
So we're still on that. I think we've pretty much figured out every state. So Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina are all southern states.
yeah, I'm considering Virginia and West Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware as South. I
was just saying the states we have confirmed.
Okay.
I left out Maryland and Delaware because we're arguing on those ones, and we're probably going to be arguing on those ones for the next 20 minutes.
I'm picking up the slack for circuitry. Where's circuitry?
Like I said,
when you need
he's gonna be so fucking proud when he gets back.
Vampy, what is your problem with Maryland and Delaware being considered a northern state?
There is nothing in common with Pennsylvania, which is what we agreed was the
We
line.
agreed Pennsylvania is a northern state. Yes, we did agree that.
And I do not see any similarities between Pennsylvania and Delaware.
Have you been to New York?
I think I was there once, and I did not like it. I'm really ready to consider that just West
New
End.
York?
Just fuck that.
New York and New Jersey are very, very similar between the two. For both geography and
Stupid
culture,
octopus.
they are very similar. So, Mom, before I
Yeah.
continue with this argument, Maryland and Delaware, do you consider them northern states or southern states?
Maryland and Delaware?
Yep.
I would say northern.
Okay. So it's 3 against. Oh, no, Self didn't answer.
These
Answer
are
because I don't really
deciding-
have an answer.
Yeah. I'm
So-
considering Pennsylvania.
Having
the
not
line
really
of the
studied the
Northeast.
culture between those two, I don't have an
Oh,
immediate answer.
God, they are so similar in culture to New York.
From what you have seen, but from what I have
Mm.
seen and experienced, they are south. There
Vampy,
is
have
no
you
way
been to New York? Have you been to
New
New
York
Jersey?
is north.
Yeah, New York is north, and I've been
So-
there.
We're talking
but
about culture, though.
that
right now.
is completely different.
Geo-
You're talking
geographically-
political, but
Culture-wise.
You're talking politically. but
Political
not-
is a big culture thing in the Northeast.
Well, then you
That
have
is-
to
that is a
consider
big driver
California
of the
north.
culture.
Then
Okay,
you have
I'm
to
gonna say
consider
it.
California north. 'cause
Vampy.
California and New York
Vampy.
are the same.
Vampy, listen. We have already figured out every other state in the country
I'm
where
just
they fit
saying-
in both geographically and culturally.
Yeah, and I'm saying
It is down to just Maryland and Delaware. I would agree they aren't very similar to Pennsylvania, except for the very east edge of Pennsylvania. They are very similar to that.
I live in there, and I don't agree with that.
I have spent days driving across Pennsylvania. It is very similar in both how it looks and the people there as Delaware and Maryland.
As someone who lives in Pennsylvania, there's no way in hell I can agree with that. We're
What'd you
going
say,
to have to
George?
agree to disagree on this because
That's
we
what
will
I was about
never-
to say.
I just
No,
want to go on
no,
record
we-
as saying that. I just want to go on record saying that New Yorkers are just redneck city boys. That's it.
Oh, with truck prices.
Yeah. And
Big lifted
And new-
trucks that never see dirt.
Delaware and Maryland are much more similar to New York and New Jersey than they are to Virginia and West Virginia.
Nah.
Yes.
Thank
Also, I
you,
got
Ken.
that term wrong. It's pavement princess.
I thought you meant Pillow Princess, but whatever.
No, pavement princesses. People with big lifted trucks that never see dirt because they have
Oh.
the tread of like a Prius.
Jesus.
So if anyone is listening in chat,
Cat. Oh my
or
God.
if you're watching this on YouTube, I want to know, where do you draw the line for the North and South? Do you consider Maryland and Delaware part of the North or part of the
Cat,
South?
what are you doing? Oh my God.
Our consensus here, other than Vampy, and Stealth just abstained,
Yes.
is
You did
that
say
it's a
it.
northern state.
No, Froggy here also said that it is not northern.
No, she did say it was a northern.
Yeah, it's a northern. I would consider it a northern state. God damn it, Cat, quit headbutting me.
I do not consider there is no way in hell I can agree that Pennsylvania and Maryland and Delaware have anything in common now.
See, we can get into a
Culturally,
whole
there's
argument
no-
about the differences between geography and culture, because culture-wise, many states don't belong where they are.
Right.
But
Yeah.
geographically, all the states pretty much belong where they are, with the
Okay,
exception
well-
of Ohio.
Can I say something about that?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm from the South. You always hear about Southern hospitality, but honestly, I never experienced Southern hospitality until I moved to Wisconsin.
Okay, so I just put into Google,
Did you
is
end up in
Maryland
Texas at
a
all?
northern state?
What?
Did you end up in Texas at all?
I visited there.
Where?
So-
Wherever the Great Texan Steakhouse is,
So listen to this.
or the Big Texan
Listen to this.
Steakhouse, where Houston, I believe.
October
You're not going
25th,
to find any
2021.
hospitality in Houston. I'm sorry.
Okay. So listen to this, guys. October 25th, 2021. CBS News. That is the date of the article.
Boy.
Oh
Yes.
nope, I don't fucking trust that shit with them.
Is Maryland a southern state? Not according to most Marylanders. You can't not trust it just magically because it's CBS.
I don't trust anything that comes out of mainstream news at this point. Don't
Mm.
like. There's no way in hell
When
I
it's-
trust mainstream news
when-
when they
when
go
it's-
for money and not actual news
Vampy.
reporting.
Cat,
Vampy.
get out of my
This
face.
one, in this case, it was a poll of people in Maryland. Do you consider your Maryland a northern or a southern state?
That can also
And
be
most of
selective.
them,
Polls can be selective as well. So there's no real census with a poll. Polls can also be manipulated. I don't trust those as easily as most people.
Also, that question is slightly misleading.
Yeah.
You're slightly
How?
misleading.
Well, if you ask somebody just straight off the bat, hey, is Maryland...
Do you
Maryland, you said,
consider? It's
Yeah,
like
Maryland.
do you consider, and that's all
do
you
you
ask.
consider Maryland a southern state? Most people are going to say no because of geographical location.
Right.
But if you reword
It's-
it and say, do you consider it to be a southern state in ideology, maybe their answers would change.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the polls.
So
not
that question
useful.
is very misleading.
I can agree
This
with
is
that.
going to be a debate that lasts for centuries. I know.
I don't understand how it could be misleading in any way if they're just asking, is your state northern or southern? Do you associate with the north or do you associate with the south? And they say the north.
Hey,
There's no-
Stealth,
nothing
is your
misleading about
state
that.
An East Coast state or a southern state?
Southern. Arguments for Central, but not Eastern.
Sobe, how does that question even make any
No,
sense?
no. Here's the better question. So,
Because that's
do
basically
you consider
asking
your
the same
state
thing.
east?
No,
or
it's not.
west?
How is that asking the same thing when Texas is far west of the East Coast?
Okay,
What-
hang on. No,
how
very
does
serious-
your
very serious
question even
Let me
make
get some-
sense?
Let me do some measurements here.
Yeah. I was asking Stealth whether he considered his state east or west. This
The
is the same
problem
thing with
is-
Maryland.
It's kind of down the middle because depending on where you go in the state, the culture definitely changes.
Mm.
Like, it's definitely more redneck than anything, but there's definitely some key differences. Like Dallas from Austin.
I heard a meme that Houston is the only blue city in all of Texas.
That's bullshit. That is grade A bullshit. Whoever said that is fucking lying to you. Houston is the most right-wing city I have ever lived in.
So, would you agree that if the question was, is Maryland more culturally close to the north or more culturally close to the south, and they said north, would you
But
agree
now-
with then that it is a northern
I would
state?
agree with it.
But now we're going
Yes,
into
I would
what
definitely
ifs,
agree.
and what ifs are never guaranteed.
And I don't have the exact question that they asked, but based on the article, they asked something similar to that.
I don't think so. Like you got to have the question to know that, and if you don't know, you can't say for sure.
Let me-
That's what the polls did. Thing.
To answer your previous question, though, Vampy, I'm gonna say more East Coast.
Yeah, brother.
Only because, like, even in, like, the dead center territory, it definitely still has more, like, fucking New York vibes.
Yeah, but but my considering of drawing for the northern line is the bottom of Pennsylvania. There is no way I consider anything south of Pennsylvania north.
For you to
That's
say
true
that,
for-
then every state south of Pennsylvania must culturally be very different than Pennsylvania magically and can't be anywhere near it.
I'm not saying
which
you can't
is-
be anywhere near it. I'm just saying they are so different that there's no way I can see a connection. They are different enough that there is no connection.
Let me see if I can find this poll.
Cat, get out of my face.
Still going for this poll. I don't trust polls because the polls are selective. You have to
Hey,
select.
so
poll.
he's looking
In
that
a
up.
city.
How do you guys feel about the possibility of Canadian territories joining the United States?
I'm all for it. Let's fix them.
I don't see that happening, personally.
Yeah.
I see it happening. I do see it happening.
More
I
often,
don't
I'm not
know.
sure I want it to happen. Canadians are some scary motherfuckers.
Okay, so here's some
Oh, yeah,
context
hey.
for it.
Westerns with they're just Minnesotans with accents.
I did find some context for it, and this context is it was a college that did the poll.
Mm.
I don't trust
Hmm.
A college in Maryland. So
I
you
don't
don't trust
colleges.
anyone to do polls, is what you're saying.
Cat.
No, I'm
stop
not
it.
trusting a college because
You're not-
colleges are kind of biased in the first place. Because what do you
How?
go there for? To get a fucking piece of paper that means absolutely fuck all in life. Unless you're going to medical or trade, you go
I
to get a fucking
just don't
degree
trust
to teach others the
certain
same degree.
generations in
Fuck
college.
that. Never went to college for a fucking reason. I thought about trade school, but I decided, nah, just go to work or help grandparents and.
So here-
No.
So here's the numbers from it. 65% of residents, so not just in the college itself, but the college is what put out the poll. And it was most likely, I would assume, I don't have this information, but I would assume that this poll was done by some sort of a statistics class or something from the college. So it wasn't the college itself doing the poll. It was a class within the college most likely doing that poll
Okay, here's what I have
as a
to say
way for
about
them to learn
assumptions.
how to do polls.
It
I'm-
makes an
I'm
ass
s-
out of you and
I'm assuming that because it's logical for that to be the case. Colleges don't just spend thousands, millions of dollars to do a poll just because they can. There's always some reason for it. And it's most likely that it was a class
But-
related
and
to
if it
polling in
is-
some way.
If it is such a class, it also has to be localized. So it's not the entire state; it's that area around the college that would be
Well,
polled. So
no,
that means
you're
it's
wrong.
Not the,
You're wrong. Because guess what? I have gotten random pieces of mail asking to fill out a quick survey or random emails asking to fill out a quick survey for similar things to that.
from a college.
I've gotten it from a bunch of different fucking places, whether it's a college or a news station or whatever.
Okay, but then there's also the thing of who answers.
It's
the people who have free time to do that, and the people who don't are like
Throw it
okay,
away.
and why
And
do
busy
you
with
for
life.
some reason believe that more people are going to answer north than people who would say south but don't answer?
because the people who would probably say south are busy working and having a life.
And why do
That
you
is-
believe that? Why do you believe that?
Why do I believe it? Why does anyone believe anything? It's their own personal idea.
If you can't answer why you believe that
Then
only a
it's the
certain
same as-
type of people is going to answer it,
it's the same
and those
as
people
why
are
do you believe a poll? Just because
Vampy,
anyone can
listen,
do
Why
it.
do I
You're-
believe
you're
it's
telling-
Because I'm in a club and it's right there.
Vampy, you're telling me
You believe
that
what's
you
on
don't
the poll.
believe this poll because you believe that people
One
answered it
shot.
wrong, or they didn't get a good subset of people to get an answer for it, and most of the people that are going to answer one way. Why are those people mostly going to answer one way? What difference does it make in their life whether they answer northern or southern? Why are more people magically in your universe going to answer and only answer northern?
That's,
Why?
That's the issue with polls. I just don't trust polls like this because how many times have we been lied to by a poll?
Statistically,
Too
if you have
many times.
if you have 10,000 people in a state, all across the state, answer that question, you can extrapolate that information. Obviously, unless you ask every single person in the state to answer it, you're not going to be 100% accurate. But when you only have 27% saying southern, 65% saying northern, and the rest of them not answering,
if you want answers like that, put it on the ballot, and I'd probably be more willing to believe it if it was off of the ballot because.
but not everyone votes.
Yeah, the ones.
So
who
how is
don't
the
are
ballot
also-
even valid
you-
for that?
If you let me fucking.
The same arguments you're making about this one can be made about ballots.
If they're voting for their locals, then all the people in the locality will vote. If you put it on those
not always.
ballots,
Not everyone votes.
okay, let's say
You get a
85 to
very
90%.
no, you
Because-
don't even get that much. In most states,
Yeah.
you get less than a
there's
40%
no point in doing a
turnout.
poll either, because the same issue can arise where you don't get the answers out of a good portion
Because
of the
you-
population.
Because you
and-
believe that people that do go to this poll are going to answer and lean it in one direction, which is just not true.
Well, as I said, I don't trust polls.
That's what
for
you're
the most
saying.
part.
You're-
I do
you're-
not trust. You're going
you're
after
telling
a poll
me-
to decide whether something's north or south. No.
Yes.
I do not.
How else
see
do you
a
figure out
poll-
if people in a state consider themselves northern or southern? How else do you consider that? How else do you figure that out?
I do not know, but I do not.
There's no other way. A poll is the best way.
No. No, the best
And
way
obviously-
is bottom of Pennsylvania is that line. It's easy. It's simple.
And you're biased because you're in Pennsylvania. If you weren't in Pennsylvania, you would probably just agree.
No, I would say if I'm south of Pennsylvania, that's still the fucking line because I have a point here where yes, Pennsylvania, when you came to the fucking Civil War, was that line. Thank you very much.
Let me pull something up here.
Wasn't the line in Virginia?
Virginia is south of Pennsylvania,
Yes, I'm saying wasn't.
but I don't
'Cause
think
you're-
Virginia fought for the North. Let me double check.
No, Maryland and Delaware, I believe, Maryland at least, abstained from all of the stuff and just sat in the middle, from what I was just reading.
Okay. One second.
But Delaware, on the other hand,
To the
Stealth, Turtle. My father has.
yeah, ask what
when it
ask what
comes
your
to
dad
the
thinks.
Northeast states, Pennsylvania and New Jersey are the furthest south of the Northeast, which means Virginia is not part of the Northeast.
What about
We agreed on that.
Delaware?
Not Maryland, and
Delaware's
Pretty-
east of Maryland.
I'm pretty sure Delaware is not part of the Northeast.
See?
Mm.
But you got to remember, Virginia and Delaware and Maryland are part of the original 13 colonies. So a lot of people still consider them to be part of the North.
I don't.
But I'm just saying, you have to make the distinction here. The
Ask him.
Considered the Northeast states stopped.
Ask him,
Pennsylvania. But when
where
you
they
consider
fit culturally.
The original 13 colonies, that does go down to Virginia, and
Okay.
a lot of people will
Ask
lump
him.
them all together as the Northeast.
Calm down, Turtle. I'll ask him. I was letting him finish. Now, what about culturally?
Culturally, well, Delaware is not South, and Virginia, I would say, is maybe starting to get to be South, but it's not South like Louisiana or
And Maryland.
He's asking Maryland.
Maryland? No. Maryland is not South.
There we go.
Maryland, the worst you could say about Maryland is that's
I've
starting
got
to
my own
get into
shit going on
being
right
the
I'll explain
Got
after
it.
the podcast.
sister-loving territory.
Just like
It is.
New Jersey and Rhode Island. I looked it up. Those are actually legal states.
Listen to the
for
laughter
that.
instead.
No. I mean, as in South mentality.
You're good.
Oh yeah. So I just
But
I
but
don't.
culturally, I would not say Virginia is South.
Okay.
No,
so
culturally,
that's-
Virginia
so what I
is
said,
closer
like-
to South.
Well,
Can we
but,
go back to
but
what I
Maryland
said
is
like
also
20
turning
minutes
that
ago?
way.
There's a
so
difference between geography and culture. Got it.
But I
Yeah.
I only consider the northeastern north at this point because there's no point in going any south than that for north. That's where I draw my line. Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Well,
and the
I didn't actually think we would get a full hour out of this topic, but we did.
and my
Thanks,
father came in
Vampy.
and gave
And-
his own piece.
Yeah.
And
thanks,
most of
Andy.
it ended up being about Maryland and Delaware. So, everyone that's watching this, if you watch this far, we
I'm
need to know.
sorry.
Is Texas a
Do you
southern state? Yes
consider
or no?
Maryland, Delaware part of the north, or is Pennsylvania the defining line of the north? That is the
Honestly, at this
Yes.
point, if you're willing to put a list together, where do you consider all the states?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's make a chain.
Yeah.
YouTube can handle it, I'm sure.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up now. So thank you all for being here and arguing with me about Maryland, Delaware, and Texas because those are the three that we argued about the whole time. The rest of them we just didn't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I had nothing to say most of the podcast.
Now, I will say again, I have been in almost all of these states except for a handful in the Northeast.
God.
So I think I know a little more about the country as a whole than anyone else here. But anyway, thank you all for being here for episode
If you wanna put your
97.
resume out.
Thank you all for being here for episode 97 of the Beyond Pixels podcast. Don't know what we're talking about next week. We're going to figure that out. And we'll see you every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/turtledude01. You can also find every previous episode over on YouTube
Ooh,
under the
I
same
came
name,
up with an
TurtleDude01. I am doing my thing. Shut up.
Sorry.
Oh.
I came up with an idea for next.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So, also, if you like candles and smelly stuff like incense, go to quandle.store/turtledude01. I fucking misspelled that. Wow. And you can get 15% off using code TURTLE at checkout. They got really good stuff.
good.
I have a few of
And
them.
they're cute.
And they're all anime themed. It's really cool stuff.
You can have,
Anyway.
you can have a titty one.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do the thing we do at the end of every episode. Unless I missed anything. Did I miss anything? Don't think I did.
Nope. But for next week, I was thinking we could stay on a similar topic. What would we consider other countries around the world as part of the U.S. states, where would they be located, and what would their culture be?
Oh God, I don't know anything about half of them.
I know.
But-
Yeah, but
Just be
we
it'd be
could.
interesting.
We could talk about world geography because I do have some countries that I personally consider being part of one region when supposedly they're actually part of another.
Yeah, we could do that. World geography next week.
I think we should brainstorm because I really don't want to talk about maps anymore.
I know.
Okay.
I hate geography.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and do the
Start with
thing
someone
at
else.
the end of every.
Child walked in.
Okay.
Start with something else.
Okay, we're gonna start with you, Mom. You have anything to chill?
Hi. I'm Turtles.
Join only
Mom.
nubs.
Join only nubs.
Vampy, chill yourself.
Alright, you can find me at twitch.tv/_Bloodworth. You will find me streaming in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, the latest, probably maybe closer to an hour if we get lucky. We have Stealth and a few others. We're going to be doing 7 days. Other than that, fuck it, shit show. Never forget, because Christ, did we have a shit show.
Thank you, Vampy.
Okay.
Sending your ass a 6-pack. At this point, you've carried so
Sophie?
much today.
Hello, everybody. I am the one-armed bandit. Please join only nubs. If you want to join only nubs, you can find me in any game world. Shut the fuck up, please. You can find me in any game world. I'm normally playing there. I've been absent on VR chat though recently because my base station's died. So, yep. Join only nubs. Thank you.
I did.
And Stealth.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all can find me at twitch.tv/StealthTheFox. In a couple hours, I may be streaming tonight, but because of some shit going down in one of the servers I'm in, that may not happen. But it is tentative, not a flat-out no. If it happens, I'll see y'all there. If not, check out Vampy, because I know he might be doing it.
Texas is
I'm
part of
gonna
the.
do 7 days. We're gonna have
Texas
great
is not part of the
time.
South.
Fuck you!
It is. Texas is South, motherfucker.
It is South.
Texas is not part of the
is
South.
It
Oh, it
is.
is.
I beg to differ.
Texas is not part of the
Yeah.
South.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, you're
wasn't
outnumbered here,
Texas-
Turtle.
Wasn't Texas formed before the Midwest?
Yeah.
No, I think Wisconsin came before Texas, actually.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
If you don't consider,
Oh.
if you barely consider Indiana part of the Midwest,
Yeah.